Bank of America. If you look at the daily, we have an inside day. It was actually a pretty bullish candle onto the end of the day that we start reversing back down. Looking at the daily also, you can see that we have kind of like an ascending flag. Um, there's also kind of like a double top possibility. If we get continuation to the downside, we're probably gonna go to the next bottom at 2760. I think that's the main support. If you look at it, it's basically the neckline of that flag right now, and it's also the bottom of the big trend. If you look at the big trend over here, going to the 4 hours, you can see that we're crossing up to the 4 hours. So I think we're probably gonna have a little move up um, on this week. Remember, a lot of banks having earnings at the end of the week. I don't think so. Bank of America is one of those, but I think Chase is having earnings at the end of the week. Same thing with Wells Fargo. So maybe we see a little more volatility on banks for this week. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 28.60 for calls. Sorry. Over that, we're gonna go to 28.65, and then after we're gonna go to 28.77. For puts, I'm gonna be looking at 28.49. I think if we drop this level over here, I'm probably gonna go with 28.50p. I'm gonna play a little in the money. Only that we're gonna go to 28.44, and after that we're gonna go to 28.99. There's a lot of resistance around those three levels. So I think if we clear those 28.89, we're gonna go to the bottom of the trend, which is basically 28.20. Again, there are banks that have earnings at the end of this week, so I think we're probably gonna see a lot of volatility on banks. Let's take a look at flow on this one. I know I saw some bullish flow yes on Friday. Let's take, I think this one. Oh, it's expired. What about this one? They got put 3,000 contracts actually for those 28.50p for the end of this week. Well, that's actually good, and it was actually the end of the day. It ended up actually going up because the market dropped. If you look at this, they got in at 26 and ended up trading at 34. It's still in because I haven't seen much volume coming out from this one, but this one actually looks really good. Uh, Everything else actually is kind of like 50-50. What about this one? Yeah, midday. They got more at the end of the day. Pretty cheap also, 20. But yeah, I think it's mostly 50-50. But yeah, this one is probably the one that looks better. This 28.50. The other one actually looks looking good. Is this one also? Those 28p. They probably got it at the end of the day. Yeah, they got a lot of volume at the end of the day. Ended up actually selling at 17 from the low 10s. So yeah, a lot of puts actually coming in. Again, I think we're probably gonna see a lot of volatility. One of the reasons that I actually like it for tomorrow. I think if we actually keep having continuation to the upside, we're probably gonna test the top of that big trend on the 4 hours, which is basically 29.14. Alright, so this one again, 28.59 for calls. If you want to feel safe, wait for those 28.64, which is this one. And for puts, 28.49, a lot of resistance. It's gonna be a little hard to drop, so be careful on that one. Alright, next one is gonna be Nike. Main thing on this one, if you go to the daily, well, basically we have an inside day, so expecting volatility. We also have kind of like a little flattish candle, ended up actually closing mostly at the middle, so it can go either way. There's a PNG, or there was a PNG on the daily. You can see it here. I think there's still the possibility of reversal if we actually break the highest of Friday, which is basically 105.53. I think if it does, we're probably gonna cover that little gap between 106.22 and 106.55. If you go to the 1 hour, you can see that we are trending inside kind of like a bearish flag, and breaking down from there, it's gonna send us to the neckline, which is around 103.70, 103.60. 4 hours, it's also bullish on this one. It's also getting a little more buying pressure, but that flag might be the risky section. Currently, it's actually bouncing from the bottom of it, and the top is 106. So maybe we see a little move up on this one, and maybe touch top of the flag and reset the 4 hours. Mighty Dima on that one. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 104.66 for calls, which is this one over here. Over that, we're gonna go to 104.89. There's a lot of candles passing by at that level, so it's gonna be the main one to break. And then after, we're gonna see 105.15. For puts, 104.33 is gonna be the main one. If we break down one, I think we're gonna break down from that trend, and we're gonna probably go to the angle at 103.60. Anyway, under that, it's gonna go to 104, and after that, we're gonna go to 103.66. Let's take a look at flow Nike. Oh, it looks like it. What about this one? 105C for 11 days out. Pretty big position actually. You can see here 1,971 and 649. Yeah, pretty big position. Now, one ended up actually dropping at the end of the day. They got in 196. Right now it's trending at 172. It didn't drop like 10%, 15%, so not much. But this one is good actually. The next one that follows 105 puts. Similar situation. Looks like it's probably a multi-leg that someone got in. Let's see. Let's click it just inside. Yeah, looks like it's a multi-leg. Yeah, it is. 105 call, 105 puts. So someone is actually expecting a bigger movement on this one or stay flat. But those puts are the one working right now. Ended up actually going from 171 all the way to 204. I do like it a lot. I think if we actually bounce from here, from the bottom of the flag, there is a possibility of actually testing the top of it and maybe covering the gap on the daily. So let's see what happens tomorrow. How's the weekly on this thing? Let's take a look. First week of the breakout, so the possibility of dropping down harder is actually there. Remember, apply the rule of a breakout. We usually, whenever we have a breakout, we usually tend to get two candles as continuation. We got the first one, maybe we see the second one tomorrow, especially from that flag. So let's see. Anyway, so 104.66 for calls, 104.33 for puts. Next one is gonna be PayPal. This one actually looks a little bullish for my taste. So far, it's testing to cross up on MACD DIMA, kind of like flagging right now on a bull flag. Kind of like also bouncing from the bottom of it and sitting mostly in the middle. If you go to the 1 hour, you can see that there's kind of like cup and handle with the neckline at 67.60. I think if we trigger to the upside, that's probably the level we're actually gonna go. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 67 for calls, which is this one over here. Over that, we're gonna go to 67.10, and after that, 67.29. For puts, I'm gonna be looking at 66.70. On the dab, we're gonna go to 66.51. And then after 66.29. I think if we trigger those 66.51, I think we're probably going to see the bottom of this trend, which is around 66. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think if we trigger the cup and handle, we're probably going to go to the top of the trend at 68.80, 68.90. I think I saw a bullish flow on this one on Friday. Let's see. I think I did saw. Yeah, here. 69 call, 67 call. 1,500 contracts, 1,800 contracts. So this one actually looks really good. But this one I like it better because of the price. But there's major flow on PayPal, bullish flow on PayPal for this week, this upcoming week. Usually 5 days out. Let's take a look at yeah, pretty bullish actually. I look at this one, 67 days out, $90. That's actually a little expensive. I mean, a little crazy. But it's actually pretty bullish. Look at the quantity again, man. Yeah, it looks good for a swing also. I think I was look at where PayPal is sitting right now on the weekly. Pretty really low. I think if it triggers on the weekly, it's probably gonna go to 77, 78. So it looks actually really good for a swing. Actually, how's the daily on this thing? Inside day. So yeah, I completely forgot about mentioning that one. They have earnings on the beginning of next month. So maybe we start seeing a little run. It also kind of like a double bottom. You can see here, first one, second one, neckline around 68. So yeah, it does look really good actually. So I like it a lot. Alright, so last one on my list is gonna be 4. Another one that has an inside day, inverse hammer or shooting star. Possibility of actually dropping is pretty high. If you look at the 4 hours, we kind of like forming a descending flag or bull flag actually, with the possibility of forming head and shoulder. You can see here, shoulder, head, second shoulder. I think neckline is gonna be around 1490, and then we drop down all the way to those 1480s, and I think it's gonna go actually to the bottom of the flag. So far, MACD DIMA on this one is actually bearish, but still pretty close to crossing up. I think its SPY has a similar situation. I think if we actually cross up again, we're probably gonna reverse back up and maybe test the top of the trend even to break it up. If you look at the 4 hours also, you can see there's kind of like a situation where we might form a double bottom. You can see here the first one, maybe we'll form the second one here, and neckline is gonna be around 15. Excuse me, 1524. We had a similar situation on Friday that we ended up actually running up the same level that we actually closed, and ended up actually going to 1524. So maybe we see something similar tomorrow. But again, if we break to the downside, we're probably gonna form a head and shoulder, and maybe even go to the bottom of the trend, even though it's actually pretty far out. But it's 4. This thing tends to move actually pretty quick sometimes. Levels on this one, I'm gonna be looking at those 1501 for calls. It's pretty tight to where we close, pretty close to where we close. So maybe wait a little for a little higher trigger. But 1501 seems to be the best one. Over that, we're gonna go to 1506, and after that, 1509. I think if we trigger for calls, I'm gonna go in the money. They're actually so cheap, they're pretty affordable, so it'll be good actually. For puts, I'm gonna be looking at 1496. Under that, we're gonna go to 1492. And after that, we got 1491. I think these two are probably mostly the same. There's a lot of resistance between those 15 and 1490. You can see a lot of candles passing by there. So I think if we trigger the 3 of them, I think we're gonna drop actually pretty hard, because there's everything else that follow is literally a little far out regarding levels. Let's take a look at flow on 4. I think I saw something on this one too. Let's see. I saw some puts at the end of it. Yeah, there you go. For 5 days out. 1450 puts, $10. There's another, this 3 that came in, literally the same price that we closed. So maybe we see a little move up. There's a lot of, let's see if they're still holding actually, because it's 4 or 5 days out. There was more bought at the end of the day, but 326. Well, what was this? Yeah, 706. Sorry. Let's check. 2 days. It's still holding. Yeah, it looks like they're still holding actually. Yeah. Ended up actually going up, then reverse back up on Friday, and then drop down. But yeah, they're still kind of like holding right now. 320. You haven't seen anything bigger out there, and it's 15C. So maybe we see something on this one. It's actually pretty good. That flow is actually pretty good. Sorry, where is it? Here. It's actually really good. So what else is out there for 4? Let's see. We got this 13P for 13 days out. Yeah, a lot of flow on that one too. But yeah, kind of like it. But there's a lot of movement on options. So maybe we see some nice movement on this one. Meantime, I'm probably gonna go with second one, because I like that flow, and it's there's the opportunity to play in the morning, so that'll actually be good too. Alright, for now, I think Bank of America is gonna be one of my main picks for this week. Again, banks have earnings at the end of the week. A lot of banks have earnings at the end of the week, so probably gonna see a nice move up. I do like 4. I do like Nike. PayPal looks actually pretty good for a bullish move, so don't sleep on that one. For now, I think we have to wait until tomorrow morning. Again, futures are actually dropping. I think we might see a little gap down tomorrow, so the idea is to actually fix the levels. I'll be actually updating the levels on Twitter, so keep an eye on that one. I hope you have a pretty good weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm also starting to trade futures. I'm probably gonna fund the account tomorrow. I've been testing it today, and we actually did pretty good. Those of you that were in the stream ended up actually shorting from, I think it was from this level over here, 44.36.25. Ended up actually dropping all the way over here. They reverse back up and calls and drop again. I think we also went long around here, this one over here, and ended up actually going all the way here. But it's been actually going pretty good. So if you see me streaming futures tomorrow in the afternoon or tomorrow night, just hop in, and let's try to do some money on this one. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a pretty good weekend. Take care.